Bearspaw native Donald Broom had a vision of building a unique racing facility. In 1985, he began purchasing property, and in 1997, that dream was fulfilled with the opening of Can-Am Speedway. This 1/3 mile oval offers weekly racing in 3 categories: the hobby stock class for entry-level racers, the intermediate street stocks, and the sportsman's class. This week, they all have to pull over and make room as the 1997 MASCAR Tour thunders into Shediac. Good day and welcome everybody to Can-Am Speedway just outside of Shediac, New Brunswick. We're on stop number 13 of the MASCAR Tour. I'm Don Ferguson. Joining me today is Ellen Smith. Ellen is going to give us our expert commentary and background on the MASCAR Tour. Now Ellen is with the Wayne Smith Tour, of course. Car 44 written all over her shirt, so we'll be keeping an eye on Wayne out there tonight. Of course, Wayne's usually in the action anyway. So welcome, Ellen.
Thank you very much.
Ellen, it's good to see you here. Now, I do want to mention something. Usually I'm doing this with Mary Jean Brown as my co-commentator, but Mary Jean's husband, Glenn, had a stroke and was seriously ill. And the good news is we just heard in the last couple of days as he's regained consciousness and he's speaking. In fact, I guess Terry Clanburn was talking to him on the phone today, and that was totally exciting news for everybody, I think.
Oh yes, it's very happy to hear, because you don't want to hear that kind of thing happen to anybody, even people you know, people you don't know. So it's we're very happy to hear. He's a very active guy, and I can imagine it's hard, but I think he'll have the will to recover from
and I know the MASCAR, everybody involved in the MASCAR Tour and MASCAR fans are hoping for all the best for Glenn.
Oh, for sure.
I hope to see them back here at the track very soon.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's get down to the racing here now. This is a 100-lap feature, and in the MASCAR rules, that means 100 laps of green racing. They do not count laps under the yellow. So let's give a rundown on our starting lineup here. I see we have car 47 on the post position, and that is
Byron
Bartlett from the St. John area.
Yep.
And I believe he's getting some help from Al Robinson, isn't he?
That's correct.
Helping get his car going and doing a good job of that. Stevie Henderson on the outside of row 1. And who's in row 2?
Row 2, we have Brad Tozer on the inside. He's from Littleton, New Brunswick. And Brad's actually came into this race tied in the rookie points with the 50 car of Michael Riley. He finished in a little better in his heat race, so therefore he's moved ahead. So this is an important race for the rookies. Outside that, we have Mike Ryan from Salisbury, of course, number 25.
And some local drivers, and I believe the Tozer family is involved in a racetrack up in Miramichi. Is that correct?
Yes, they are. They do. They run the Miramichi International Speedway.
Okay, Art Steves is going to give them the green laundry, and they're off and away. Byron Bartlett is holding the point. Brad Tozer drops in beside. Mike.
You got Doug Stokes, number 5.
In the third. Right now it looks like the inside line is the place to be.
Yes, it is.
And Doug Stokes is going to look at the inside of Brad Tozer.
Yeah, he looked like he was hooked up today in the heat races, I must say.
Yeah,
he's got a new engine in that car.
Okay, he's going to make the best of that. Dropping into third place now is Wayne Smith.
Yay!
Yay!
Am I allowed to be biased?
Wayne Smith is in 7th place in the standings, and he could come out the champion here. In fact, there's quite a few cars that could be the champion here at the end of next week. We have a car spun on the track there.
Yeah, that's Mike Riley, the number 50 car. It's a good race for him.
He's got it going again, but Byron has a problem. He runs way wide. Looks like he might have a tire problem right there.
Sometimes you get in that outer groove, and yeah, something's definitely happened though.
Looks like he's going to make an early trip to the pits.
Hard to say it because the tires look. Oh no, he's going around.
No, he's still going around, but. And back up front, the cars are still sorting themselves now. We've got a bit of a gap between the first 5 cars. Headed off with the number 50 of Mike Riley. Well, Byron Bartlett has dropped his car on the infield.
He'll
going to bring out a yellow, I believe so. He's pretty close to the edge of the track.
This is good for the 50 car because he's actually going to be lapped if it doesn't come out.
Art's looking over closely. Yes, he does bring out the yellow flag.
Yellow.
Our first yellow of the day brought out Byron Bartlett. He has some problem with the car. We can't see from here. Nothing obvious. Maybe he's had an engine problem. And the 50 car managed to save his lap.
Yep. That's important because once you get a lap down, it's a hard thing to get back.
Well, the MASCAR circuit makes its second stop here at Can-Am Speedway in Shediac. Talking with Byron Bartlett, driver of the number 47 Budweiser car. Byron, I think you're third in the rookie standings right now. How's your season been going?
When we've been finishing pretty decent. It's just we've had stupid parts breaking on the car, and that's making it tough for us. But we're looking to have a good day today. We got the car working good.
So I guess the practice session has gone pretty well, you just mentioned?
Yeah, we come up yesterday in practice, and of course, another part broke. We broke a rocker arm, which is pretty rare. But anyways, we got it fixed. And hopefully, the racing gremlins are going to leave us alone today.
That's a big part of it, isn't it? I guess luck's got a lot to do with it.
You've got to be prepared, but luck's the big part.
On a third oval, a lot of traffic you run into, so lap cars play a big part. If you get out front, it doesn't mean you're going to stay out front because you're going to run into people sooner or later.
Well, that's what happened to us here the last time. We were running in the top 6, and we got spun out by a lap car, and the rules that they have here is both cars involved go to the back end. It's kind of ruined our day, but we finished. But it is a short track, and there's a lot of cars here today and a lot of quality cars, and it's going to be close. And there's going to be some fenders flying, I'm sure. The
last time MASCAR made it stop here, it was kind of damp. Today it's hot. I imagine the heat from the track will make a little difference in tires.
We found it extremely slippery this morning, and I think it's just going to get greasier as the day goes on. So all we can do is just chase the setup on the car, and hopefully we'll hit it right for the feature.
Okay, we're back from our first brief yellow today. Byron Bartlett is still in the pits. I don't know if he's going to make it back to the track. We started here with 28 cars. We're now currently at 27. Doug Stokes is in the lead, and he's creeping. He's trying to control this start. Yeah. Little gamesmanship being played out here.
Wait for him. Jump you.
Now we're going to look at the out. Doug Stokes is hard on it. Their way into turn 1. Doug Stokes on the inside, Wayne Smith on the outside, followed by Brad Tozer. Oh, we have an incident here on the front stretch.
We got a yellow
car.
caution.
0-0 of Scott Frazier. Serious problems. He's leaking fluid. I see somebody against the wall there too.
Yeah, sorry about that. I believe that's Scott Livingston's car from PEI. I believe the 24 car.
24 car.
Yep. Yeah, he hit that wall. I didn't see him hit it. I saw Scott's. I saw him wave out his hand out the window, so he's okay.
Did the camera get it?
Scott Frazier won 12 out of the 15 events last year on the MASCAR circuit, but Scott's gotten away a little bit to concentrate on some other areas of his races. Scott, you're on a bit of a roll, nonetheless.
Yeah, we've been having a good series so far. We've only participated in 5 races, and they've been a good 5. We won 3 of them, got second in the other, and we crashed on the first lap on the other one. So it's been good. Every track we go to, the car's been super fast, and we're usually the one to beat, and that's the main thing for us.
Well, you look pretty good in the heat race there, coming out on top. Byron gave you a little run at the start, but I don't think he had enough for you for the whole 10 laps.
No, the car's good. We got a little bit of flutter in the carburetor here now. We're trying to get out of it, and once we get that over, hopefully the car will be a little better. But today it seems there's a lot of cars as quick, if not the same as I am, so it's going to be a hard night to try to win the Atlantic Cat 100.
John Fleming had mentioned he's got a pretty quick car, but obviously you got a little bit for him.
Yeah, we hope so. He starts in front of us, so we're definitely going to find out, that's for sure.
It'd be nice to put the Atlantic Cat car on the front row for the sponsor, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's for sure, and that's what we're here for, to win the race and support Atlantic Cat, because they've supported me great over the last 3 or 4 years.
Well, good luck, and have a good day. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You know, it's ironic in a way. Scott Frazier, the 00 car, is sponsored by Atlantic Cat.
Right.
And he has not been successful in an Atlantic Cat race.
Oh.
No, we've actually won an Atlantic Cat race, and it's just some of the other guys too. But it's just amazing how many times I've seen this happen.
Well, I guess if you can't get the win, you might as well get your TV time somehow.
Yeah,
For
exactly.
your sponsor.
But it just, I like it.
I don't think this is exactly what he had in
No,
mind, though.
not at all. Not at all. Because, of course, he's a very good runner. But, yeah, I can't believe this has happened again because it's like I said, it's almost like it's an omen. He's quite far down there. He's not really an
He's
issue.
down in 20th place
Yeah.
currently.
The reason that he won't be an issue in the point standings, he's going to be in the point standings, but
He's
he won't
running a
receive
limited-
he won't receive any monies because of the fact that he does not run with us. He's only run a few races this
Right.
year.
The points contingency funds, it calls for a certain percentage of races to be run on the tour to be eligible for that money. Yeah.
That's right. You got to
Now,
run
I understand
more
Scott
than
is
85.
pursuing racing in other areas, I believe.
You hear about him going. Well, he runs a lot of the open stuff, and he's gone to the ACT rate or the 250 down at the Oxford 250. I think he was up in what's the one in Quebec? Saint-Air?
Saint-Air Speedway.
Yes. I think he was there this year. I didn't hear how he did.
Now, I mentioned earlier Terry Clattenburg. Now, Terry's officially retired now, as is Frank, I believe. But you never know with those guys. They could always pop into a car at any time.
Frank has actually raced with us this year.
Oh, he has?
Yeah, if you look,
Okay.
he's listed as 28th spot as a 08, and he ran a couple of races. The 250 last week and the twin 200s in Halifax back, oh gosh, the end of July, I guess it would have been. But no, Scott has built 3 cars. He has his own, he has his father's, and Cy Harvey's car, which is the 49 car. He built that one, and they all were out running. I think he's trying to get himself in, known as a car builder.
Oh, I see.
You'd be surprised how many of the guys actually build their own, right from scratch. Some guys will buy frames. And like from Port City is a place in Michigan, I believe, and or 5-star. And the bodies are your 5-star bodies, and they will. Like my husband Wayne has started with nothing. He has a jig, and he buys all the metal that you need, makes up
fabrication right from the bottom up.
Right from the bottom up, including engine, everything. He does all of his own work. And Greg, there are other, like Mike McKenzie, the O2 car, but a lot of them is Dwight, R&D Performance Center. He builds a lot of motors for people, but Scott is also doing the building of motors, cars, and so forth. So.
And I suppose that way you can keep some of your secrets to yourself.
Well,
too.
that, I believe, is the whole point, yeah.
Just what it is that brings thousands out to the racetrack when MASCAR is down. Get out your notepad and I'll list the ingredients in what we like to call the MASCAR formula. First, take 1 General Motors, Ford, or Chrysler late model 10-plate body. Add 1 cast iron block engine with varying maximum cubic inch displacement according to the make. Trim it to minimum weight. This varies depending on whether you use dry or a wet sump oiler. Max out the compression to 10.99 to 1. Sit a Holley 7448 2-barrel carburetor on top. Suspend it all over coilover shocks. Brake it with 4-wheel disc brakes. And fasten it to the pavement with McCurry EC60 racing slicks. And voila, you've got 400 horses of racing excitement.
Yeah, there you can see them pulling off Scott Frazier's car, and he's got a multitude of problems to look at between now and next week in Halifax.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to say whether he'll run. Where he's not running for the points of any sort, then he may not run. Because I believe he ran this one mostly because it was his sponsor. He's not in it. He's more in it for, I don't like to say, but for the money. And there isn't a lot of money because this is definitely not a money-making sport in the Maritimes. You've got to be in the States for that kind of stuff.
And it's your sponsors that carry you, basically.
Yep. And that does you through the year. Most of the guys work on very limited budgets, as low as 10,000, and that's low.
It's amazing how some of these guys actually run without sponsors. I don't know how they can do it at all.
Yeah, you try to do your best and hope that the equipment's good enough that you don't have to replace anything or break anything.
Well, let's have a quick look at the lineup here for this restart. We still have Doug Stokes on the pole, or in the first position. Wayne Smith is sitting outside. Brad Tozer, Stevie Henderson, Mike Eddy, and that's Roger Miller, George Kozkuliks.
That's actually Bobby White.
Or sorry, Bobby White.
Yeah.
Roger Miller's 80, and then Bobby's 81.
And Roger's not running today because his motor's cooked. He actually cooked it last weekend.
And we have George Kozkuliks and
John Fleming.
John Fleming outside. Our lonely Ford.
Yep, Danny Eddy. He ran a good race last weekend.
And Dave Corbett. Now, Dave Corbett
Points leader.
is a points leader. He's won one race this year, but consistency, I guess is what you'd have to say.
Definitely. You got to finish. Even if you're down laps, it's important when you're up there to in the points race to finish. Oh, here we go.
I believe have the curl, yes. They're going to be coming to the green flag. Doug Stokes has got the hammer down, and he's taking the lead into turn 1. And we made it all through turn 1, okay, yep. Heading down the back stretch. Now Brad Tozer's taking the inside spot. Taking the look anyway. Wayne is carrying his momentum around the outside, trying to hold him off. Again, this outside line's a little bit harder, but Wayne's got a little faster car.
Not only that, once they get a couple laps, the tires start to heat up and give you a little more traction.
Very important that first lap. Those first corners can be very difficult when your tires have cooled down. Stevie Henderson slipping back a little bit. He was a little bit loose coming out of that corner. He's back to 5th position. Single file out front.
I'd say John Fleming might have a problem. He's not handling all that well.
No, he definitely not. He's definitely loose coming out of turn 1, or out of turn 4. In turn 1, we'll just kind of keep an eye on him.
Yeah.
As I'd say, the 97 car is very ill handling at the moment.
And he's running 3rd in points, so
very important for him to hang on. Again, I have to reiterate how close the points battle is. There's no way to predict who's going to come out at the end of this year with the championship.
The way the points. Oh,
we have car around 52.
We've got 27 on the other side.
Sean Tucker, 27 is in the infield.
Yeah, Bill Somerville. Yeah.
Billy just made it into this race by winning the last chance race.
Yes.
Tough customer. Bill's not running quite all the equipment that everybody else is.
He's another running on the limited budget, yeah. He's gonna be a lap car now, so our next caution, if we have one, will end up single file start.
Top 4 cars are breaking away a little bit here. You see Doug Stokes in the lead.
Good to see Mike Ryan running up there. I like to see different guys.
Mike's had a good car upon occasions, no doubt about that. He's certainly a capable driver. As I would have to say,
there's
the majority
of
the drivers here are very capable. Car 50 is returning to the track. He's had an extended stay in the pit, so he'd be laps down.
Yes, I didn't even notice that. Good eye. Sometimes they get spread out. You gotta look around real hard to see the leader.
Doug Stokes is running into traffic now as he works his way around Bill Somerville. And the 21 car right in front of him,
Dave Pierce.
Is Dave Pierce. Dave Pierce, mild-mannered, off the track, but not necessarily so on the track.
You're right, and that's pretty well goes for all of them, I think. I think out of all the drivers I've ever seen, Dean Clattenburg was one of the only gentlemen either way.
Each year between 700,000 and 800,000 people.
The leader goes into turn 1, and just behind him, Wayne's having trouble getting by some of the lap cars here. He's going to make it by Bill Somerville here.
Inside is always a dangerous thing when you try to do it, because the flag man is telling you to move over, and
to move over, you usually go.
Yeah. You don't. It always gives me the willies when I see a car on the lead lap trying to go inside a lapped car.
Now he's got himself well clear. Wayne Smith has got some space now to work his way up. Brad Toes is working his way around the inside of Billy Somerville. I see Scott Kelly's moving up quite well there. Stevie Henderson has dropped back, but still in the hunt.
Ooh, sorry. So 3 wides, you know?
Yeah. And that was because, of course, Scott Kelly and
48 car, Dave Oblinus.
And everybody's trying to get to the front, because right now Doug Stokes has got a huge lead on everybody, but again, he's still working his way through traffic.
Oh, we're going to have a spin here.
Oh, we have 67, and he's around in turn number 4. Everybody going to get by? I
Caution's
believe
out
so.
behind.
That's definitely a caution out here. So Stevie Henderson, 67, had some minor contact with 31. 31 has contact with Cy Harvey. But he's still running a little piece of metal, sheet metal damage. But
Now in our racing, the cars that are involved all together go to the rear of the pack.
But you don't lose a lap.
No, and it used to be, our rules have somewhat gotten a little better. It used to be that the person spun
The instigator supposedly
goes
was
to the back, and the guy that got spun gets his spot back. But it was always so hard to tell who did what to whom.
sometimes, yes.
Yeah, so it was best to just
Even Steven, everybody goes back.
exactly. And it's a shame. One of the one spot. Oh, Sean Tucker has some real good damage on the front of his
And
car.
Sean's had contact more than once today. Now that may require a
Yeah.
trip to the pits to rip that off.
Yeah, they might even force him to go in.
As we near the end of the 1997 MASCAR season, the top 9 and 10 drivers are all in a position to take home the championship this year. Entering today's race, here's what the point standings look like. Okay, the cars are getting lined up again. Now we have a double file lineup because we have 4 lap cars now. They're lined up on the inside. And Stevie Henderson may be on the lead lap, I'm not sure, but he's at the tail end. They take the checker flag, work their way through turns 1, 2. Everybody's safe through there. And Wayne is working hard. Wayne Smith that is working hard on the back of Doug Stokes. Attempting to get by the 27 car, Billy Somerville. He's not giving them any room to get by. He doesn't want to. He'd like to get that lap back, obviously. Working hard in the corner. And Doug Stokes, Wayne Smith. I see Danny Eddy's, not Danny, Mike Eddy's worked his way to the inside. We have car 72 spun around and the 17 car in the backstretch. So it's going to bring out a yellow. 17 continues on. 52 cars back on the track, dragging parts of his. That's definitely going to.
Oh my!
Now
we got a spin in the back.
We have another car spun out.
Brad Tozer.
Oh, Brad Tozer, one of our leaders.
And Bobby White, who's also
Bobby White's got a front flat. Yep.
He might be okay if it's just a flat.
Looking at the Brad Tozer car here, he's had some damage. I wonder if we can get the shot of the car 52, Sean Tucker here. He's getting the meatball flag.
I mean, gee. I don't think I've ever seen anything
I've never seen anything quite. I've seen parts hanging off. I've never quite seen something like that.
This is unfortunate for Brad. Again, he was running.
Now, if we look back behind the 52 car, a couple of car lengths here, we'll see what we're talking about here. Look, there it is. Now he's made about 3 laps of the track with that down there. I can't imagine what's holding that on.
It looked like. Also, I don't know. It looked like metal, some kind of stretched out metal or something. It was very odd looking, like a spring.
Well, I guess it's going to be one of those days. A lot of strange things have happened here early in the race.
Yeah, right now Brad has hit the wall pretty good, and
Brad is one of those that he's in 12th place
Second, actually, he took the lead as the rookie today.
That's right, but this...
And this is really going to hurt his chance because Mike Riley is still out there, of course.
That's right.
Chance to pick up more points.
Our point system, I don't know if you know how it works. You basically start with 100 points and you go drop down 2 points per position. So, depending on the amount of cars,
that's for the feature race, and
yes.
they pick up points
in the heat races. Start with 15 points and drop down 1 point for per position.
See, the ambulances are out. Brad, he did hit something there quite hard.
I'll tell you, it shortened his car up a bit. He did the same thing the first race in PEI, I believe.
There's the Danny Eddy car, the lonely Ford out here. He's definitely suffered some damage in the right side of his car.
Well, the Fords are hard to come by here in the MASCAR Series, and I've caught up with Danny Eddy, who's the driver of the one and only Ford Thunderbird, the quality care #1 Ford Thunderbird here in the MASCAR. Danny, how's the season been going so far?
It's been a great year so far. We've been running a limited schedule in the MASCAR Series. We've been trying to get some opens throughout New Brunswick, but we've had 3 fourths, a third, and a second so far, so we're really looking forward to tonight here at Shediac going for our first win.
The feature, how'd you make out in the feature?
Last week in the feature we finished second to Scott Fraser. He's a real strong runner in the Atlantic Cat car, and we pushed him hard at the end but didn't quite have enough, and I'm not sure how much he had left, but we were going as hard as we could, and we were fortunate to finish second.
So you participated in 7 out of the 12 events, and like you say, you've been up around the top 5 pretty consistently.
We've competed in 7 of the MASCAR, and we've also had some opens. We had a third in the Fredericton in an open, and we've gone to Oxford. We were the highest finishing Canadian in the Oxford 250. Finished 18th, we were 30 laps down, we had a wreck, but there was 100 cars down there, and we were just glad to make the field.
Yeah, I guess that's what it's all about, is getting in and racing and seeing how well you make out come the end of the day.
That's for sure, and you can't do it without sponsors. I mean, Ford Credit and Ford Quality Care have been with us for 4 years, and they stuck it out with us through thick and thin, and it took us a while to find out what to run in the Ford as far as the motor and transmission combination, but it's coming together for us in '97, and I can't wait for the rest of the year.
And what kind of horsepower are you pushing out of this Thunderbird?
We're putting out about 420 with a 502 barrel, about 465 with a 4 barrel that we ran in Oxford. So we've been, it's good, reliable motor. We've got 2 motors. We've got one sitting in the back, and it's been there all year, and I hope it stays there. The Ford stays together. It's a great car.
Car running pretty good today?
Yeah, we're about the 3rd fastest here, and you never know what happens when the race starts. The 97 car and the 00 Atlantic Cat car are a little bit faster, but not by very much. So we're just looking forward to a good, safe race for everybody.
I guess you just sit around and bide your time and wait till the last 10 maybe, and then see what you've got.
You know, it's really funny. This year we've been trying not to go to the front in a hurry, and we've been having the best year we've ever had. We've been just taking our time, and after about lap 50 you're in the top 10, and if you can get in the top 5 after about 80 laps, and then the last 20 you got to go for it then.
Well, that's where you got to be in the running at the end of the race, otherwise there's no chance at all.
That's for sure. Yeah, it's consistency. I've watched Greg Sewart over the years. He's a 4 or 5-time MASCAR champion, and he's kind of the type of guy, as a fan, I used to watch him, and around lap 80 you'd say, where did he come from? And he'd end up winning the race. So kind of doing some of the things he used to do.
Well, good luck today, Danny, and all the best in the future.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Coming back to green here on lap number 27. They're just forming up now. In the lead on the outside, Doug Stokes. The cars on the inside are lap cars. Wayne Smith in the 44 second. Mike Eddy. George Kozkulic has moved up to the 4th position. George has been back there quietly.
Yeah, that's usually what happens. Some of them sneak up when you're not watching.
Mm-hmm.
You got Mike Ryan running to 3rd.
And Scott Kelly.
Yep. Greg Sewart.
Certainly guys that want to pick up major points today in an attempt to clinch the championship. Mark Steves waves the green flag. We're back to racing, lap 27. Again, the inside car of Billy Somerville trying to hold off Doug Stokes to get back in that lead lap. Officially, he is in the lead lap right now because he crossed the line ahead of him, but due to a mishap earlier, he got himself put back down a lap. Now the 50 car is working on the inside of Doug Stokes too to get a lap back. And I think Wayne Smith is watching all of us to say, if they can do it, I'm going to do it. But Doug gets a good run on the outside.
Sometimes
Mike Eddy's coming up. George very close to spinning him around, but he held his line, held his composure, held the temptation to tap Mike Eddy in the back. Or Mike Ryan.
Yes, I know who you got that in your head. Me too.
Bill Doug's got himself clear now.
Yeah, now that
there's
leader,
2 lap cars between first and second place.
Yeah, but now that the leader has passed the lap cars, then
they're more inclined to move out of the way.
See,
I don't think so.
Yeah, this is what I say about that inside, to stay away from that.
Keep an eye on the 44 car. He's way inside.
Oh,
we have cars all over the place in turn 3 and 4. I think that all came about because Wayne was trying to work his way around the lap car. Then one car gets on the binders and everybody's accordion behind him.
I caught up with John Fleming here a couple of seconds before his car goes through the inspection with the MASCAR officials. John, I think you're probably looking for a little better luck this week than you had last week at Riverside.
Definitely, yeah. Last week there, 5 laps into the race there, clutch started going on us, so made it a long day for us.
You finished the race, but you went in third, you come out third, but I guess you lost a few points to Scott and Dave, eh?
Yeah, I lost a lot of ground, but got a real good car today. I think should be able to make some up today.
So you're looking for the win?
Definitely.
Attaboy. Thank you very much.
There we see the Scott Fraser car, looking slightly modified. Well, I don't think he'll have an overheating problem here unless he had a problem with the radiator, because he's certainly out in the air. Keep cool.
That's very important.
He drops in at the end of the line on the inside, being the lap cars. Now, on each of the previous restarts, it's been quite a chore for Doug Stokes to get by the car on the inside, the 27 car.
But he eventually does, so patience often wins out.
And again, once he does, he's able to pull away quite quickly because he can take his line then.
Yeah. And again, it's that couple of laps to get the tires warmed up and get some grip to them.
That's one of the things, too. Running side by side, there's only one ideal line. And if 2 cars have to share it, of course, you can't really share it. So both cars have to give a little bit. And the end result is both cars are running slower.
You're right. Yeah. That's why you wonder why when you see them get away that or by the car that all of a sudden they're way out in front. But the line makes a big difference. Oh, Mike McKenzie's coming back on the track. Another points in for the points championship.
Yeah, Mike McKenzie in 8th position. And he's only about 50 points behind first place.
Yep. You know, Mike McKenzie, he's been with the MASCAR Tour a long time, and he has consistently finished in the top 5 for years. And I know even sometimes, and many top 3s actually. And I know that he would, you know.
You just saw him go through the shot, weaving back and forth. Get those tires clean, keep them warm. And of course, these cars are slick tires, so being slicks, you don't want any debris hanging onto the tire, on the rubber.
Tucker's car is the 52, boy, I don't know. The front of it's dragging. I don't like that too much.
It's probably just ductwork. Now, inside, underneath the hood, they do use a lot of things to help the airflow going through the car.
Yeah, they usually make an aluminum shroud to cool the radiator.
Oh, coming back to the green flag. Just not able to get enough of a run on the outside and the back. Uh-oh. Somerville gets into Doug Stokes.
Oh, and we got Dave
Major
Oblinus.
Problems. Dave Oblinus, after all that, has made a trip to the outside wall, turn 4. Red flag is out.
I think that will probably be the end of the wall hitting, because that's the 3rd guy tonight.
That was a major contact there. I heard that one. Let's have a look and see what happened to the 48 car. And there's the contact on the inside. And you couldn't quite see what happened on the inside, but you could definitely tell what started all that.
Yep. And
again, it's now this is 2 or 3 times in a row that the lap cars have been involved in causing this.
And it's a shame because they, I don't know how to deal with it. I know that the guys get quite frustrated that are on the lead, and you know they know that the lap car is trying to get his lap back, but when you can see that he just doesn't have it, and yet fight and fight and fight and fight until something like this. I mean, there's been a lot of wreckage here and money, which a lot of them don't have.
Greg Sewart, who was the 95 MASCAR champion, driver of the 99 the Mighty Muffler Camaro. Greg, how's your season been going so far?
It hasn't been going too bad this year. We had a bad race in Fredericton there 2 weeks ago and knocked us back a little bit in the points, but as a whole, it's been pretty good.
I guess there's still a chance for you to come out on top here with the 2 races left?
Yeah, we might be a little tougher now. We got 5 guys ahead of us there that we have to, you know, hopefully they have a little bit of bad luck like we did 2 weeks ago, but it's still a possibility.
I guess with the 2 wins, you obviously have had a couple of DNFs maybe?
No, I haven't had any DNFs this year. That's why it's been a good year. We've been pretty consistent in the top 5 and top 10 most of the season, so, and won 2 races, so we're pretty happy with the season.
How's the car working here this weekend?
We were here yesterday and tested, and we've come around a little bit there this time. We haven't run that well at this racetrack yet, so that's why we were here yesterday, and we brought it around a little bit today, and we're still working on it a little bit.
So it'd be nice to go out and lead a few laps and come away a winner here, and that'd probably tighten her up quite a bit for you.
Yeah, no question. We would like to have another win, especially here, because we have, like I said, haven't done that well here yet since the racetrack is open.
Okay, the cars are forming up again. Up front, you're basically seeing the same cars on the inside and on the outside. Now, Doug Stokes has not been able to take off and get a clear run away from the 27 car, the lap car of Billy Somerville. And of course, he's being dogged by Wayne Smith. And they're going to get the green flag this time around. Everybody's hard on the gas coming out of the corner. Into turn number 1. Doug is just not able to get away. Now, this could be something for Wayne Smith. Wayne's going to look to the inside. This is his first opportunity to check this out. It may or may not be advantage to him, but he's simply going to take advantage of it if the opportunity opens up. I see Somerville is running a little bit wide in the corner, and I'll bet you that's what Wayne Smith is looking at. He's saying, is there room for me to stick my nose in there?
Not a good plan. 3 wide is a scary thought.
But you can see what I mean. They're
like
Somerville is forcing Stokes wide. So Wayne will take advantage of that. Okay, Stokes is finally cleared. Now he's going to be able to walk away. 27 receiving the move over flag. Okay, I think Wayne's cleared him now. Just heard on the radio, he's clear. That leaves Danny Eddy in the spot. Oh, Danny's going to take advantage of Somerville going wide. Tight squeeze in the corner, but he's going to make it work. So as the leaders start to spread out, we still have Doug Stokes in the lead, Wayne Smith second, Danny Eddy third. Now George Coolix makes his way to the inside, and followed by Scott Kelly.
And actually, the next car would be the 61 of Roger Miller. Roger's number is usually 80, but his car wasn't. Motor was
he's
gone.
Borrowed a car this week, has he?
He has a different car, yeah. Vance Haynes actually runs that car, and he's part of the stable of Bobby White, Roger Miller, Vance Haynes, Cy Harvey. They all friends.
So the points, are they going to go to the car or to the driver?
They go to the driver.
Okay. Now we have, is that Steve Pickett turned around in the infield?
That looks like Kevin Smith.
Kevin Smith, 72. Yes, it is Kevin Smith. I was thinking Steve Pickett, but Steve Pickett runs in another series.
Steve used to run with us, and he work obligations couldn't run this year, and I've heard that he's actually maybe coming back next year.
That's good. There's always, it seems, there's always a lot of interest to see the 99 cars return to the track, but he's running much slower, so that hurts his chances today.
Oh, his motor. I see some blue smoke coming out.
I think that was just a speedy draw he ran across there. But
oh, maybe. Oh, yes, I forget. Sometimes that happens.
Meanwhile, back up front, Doug Stokes maintains the lead. He's got quite an advantage, probably almost a full straightaway on Wayne Smith now, and Danny Eddy's very close. Danny Eddy trying to work the inside. And George Koskulik and Scott Kelly are there. Yeah. So the race right now is for second place.
Definitely.
Second, third, fourth, and fifth, all right together.
Oh, we might have a spin.
Oh, we have the 24 spinning. Mike McKenzie's around.
Yeah. Stay high.
And as our second, third, fourth place cars come by, they all clear him. Close call. Now it looks like he's made some contact to cause that. We have another car, Stevie Henderson, turned around in the backstretch. I didn't see what happened there. I was watching the 24 car. Which is not Mike McKenzie. I'm sorry, that's Scott Livingston.
I just heard that the 24 car and the 49 car are being issued warnings, black flag warnings, because they've been beating on each other.
Oh, Cy Harvey wouldn't do that, would he?
No, it's very good. Anyhow, this is it. If they do it once more, they're gone.
We'll have to keep a little eye on them. Push car's able to get Stevie Henderson moving again. Unfortunately, wrong way down a one-way street. We're able to see what happened here earlier to the 7-2 car. He was just in the middle of a 5-car lineup, and they just kind of knocked him out of the way. No damage caused, and he got back rolling again. Now we have a slight change, not with the leader, of course. But we're looking at the lap cars now. Doug Stokes is going to contend with the 50 car rather than the 27 car, so maybe he'll have a little bit better luck there. That's the Mike Riley car. Wayne Smith in second place in the 44. Danny Eddy in the 1. George Koskulik 6. Scott Kelly in the 12. Now it looks like the 24 car was put down a lap during that spin. I guess they must have gone by one more time before they threw the yellow.
Well, actually, I just heard on the radio that they're just doing the lineup now. It takes a few minutes for them to get the lineup set up before they can put it onto the track of stewards and let them get everybody in.
Right. Now, there's something that they're doing here now that you don't usually get a chance to, and that's with the electronic scoring.
Yes, I heard about that, which is great. I wish it could be done at every track, because I know that it's final. You do have a lot of arguments about where people finish.
And I could never imagine how those charters could keep up with the cars coming across the line.
You'd be surprised. I shouldn't say, but my mother is the chief scorer, so I know. I hear the.
You're only slightly biased then.
I'm only slightly, no, but I hear the trials and tribulations that, well, I'm sure I was only one lap down and that kind of thing, and
this takes the guesswork out of it.
Oh, for sure. It's hard though, because it's great for if the track, it's the track having it. You can't just take it with you, pick it up and take it with you to every track.
That's right. The track has to supply it because it's, well, at the start-finish line, first of all, they have to have these wires running underneath the asphalt, and of course the computer installation that logs it all. But the track supplies, I was amazed. It's a little transmitter that's about a couple of inches square. And they mentioned it goes about 95 inches, I think exactly 95 inches behind the front point of the car. So they know where that they're going to be scored equally when they do cross the line.
I'm sure that's how NASCAR, well, I mean, well, you know NASCAR's done that way.
Okay, still working on the cars, getting them lined up.
Received all of the necessary information.
Now they're going to bring the complete stop until everything's sorted out.
If you're not a registered participant and you live in
we do know
New
Doug
Brunswick,
Stokes is in the lead. Wayne
you can
Smith
receive
second,
more
Danny Eddy
information
third,
about
George
eligibility
Coscool,
requirements,
Scott Kelly.
test dates and application
Then we
procedures
have Roger
from your
Miller
local
in that,
community
what
college.
looks supposed to be
Or
a
you can
61.
receive information
The king of the
about
road
this
is still out
course
there.
by
Yep.
calling the number on
Mike
screen.
Ryan.
If you live in
Or
Ontario,
Stevie
you
Henderson.
can find out more about the GED from your school board.
Rolly McDonald,
or by
who's only run a couple
contacting
races
the
with us this
GED
year. I don't know if you
administrator,
see the trucks on the road, King
Independent
Freight
Learning
Line, but
Centre
that's
branch,
him.
20 Bay
Yeah,
Street,
he's from
Suite
Pictou County.
400,
He's quite
Toronto,
a...
And
Ontario,
not a stranger to
M5J2W1.
stock car racing anywhere.
No,
Or
he
by
used to run a
calling
43
1-800-573-7022.
Dodge. That was his number 43 Dodge back in
Wherever you live in North
before
America,
MASCAR even
chances are
formed
that
with
the
Frank
GED
Frazier,
is
Bobby
available to
Allen,
you.
Terry Clattenburg. I've been going to the races for,
information about GED
well, not
testing
too long.
at your school board, community college, or Department of Education.
But well, myself, I have
I have
been
been
around
out of
for a
school
couple
for
of
30
years.
years.
Work
When the time came
obligations
for
kept me
exams,
away from the
granted,
racetrack,
I was
and,
nervous. When
it's
I
good to get
received my
back
marks in
into
the
something
mail,
that's
I
hard
was
to get out of
thrilled.
your blood.
You know, that day I
Yeah, it
felt
sounds
so
like
good about
you guys
myself.
up here at least have
Knowing
some
here I was
wonderful
after all these
coverage,
years,
and,
I could go back to
I wish
school and
Halifax,
make it.
Maybe
Nova
you've been out of
Scotia's
school for a long time
not
and you're
good.
nervous about trying
It's hard to
the
believe they have
GED.
this kind of thing in their backyard.
If you are,
No
you're not
promotion at all.
it's a big step.
That's why the
and
Moosehead
most
Grand
people are a
Prix
little
disappeared.
nervous.
They do some, what we give them.
Okay. Coming one lap to the green flag. Next time by the start-finish line, our Steves will be waving the green at them. Picking up speed. Oh, I see they shuffled the order.
Yes,
Of
should
the
be
lap
a relief.
cars.
Yeah.
So Doug and Wayne are both clear in the first corner. Oh, Wayne's a little bit loose, but he managed to gather it up again. Now we'll see who has anything for who out front here.
Oh, we're at lap 50. That was lap 50.
Halfway.
By.
Yep, cross flags being shown by the starter. Halfway home. And the cars are sorting themselves. This is going to sort itself up to be a good section of racing here. You have your top 4 or 5 cars now clear, able to duel amongst themselves. Oh, 4 wide does not work in turn 1.
Oh, amazing. Look at 31 cars. Looks like he...
Yes, 31 does have a problem.
Yeah, his front brake looks like it might be seized.
Yes, he definitely has something seized in here. He's going to pull off in turn number 1, head to the pits. Okay, Doug Stokes a healthy lead now, but a hungry pack behind Wayne Smith, Dan Eddy, and George Coscoolix. And shortly behind there, of course, we have Scott Kelly and Roger Miller.
Thing is, when they start to get some green laps going, that's when you start to see, you know, how the cars are actually running. They might look tight at first, but
let the tires come up to temperature, let the engines come up to temperature, everything.
Yeah, body
Body
heat.
Maximum.
You watch Danny Eddy going into the turn. He's sort of slow going into the turn, but boy, can he ever get in it in the middle.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Middle of the turn, he's definitely fast in the middle of that turn.
And that'll be... It's probably a good thing.
See, Doug Stokes is clearing the 99 card. Sewart is very slow today, but he's just trying to hang on there to get some points.
Oh, yes, because he's running 6th. One of those top 9 guys that are anybody's race.
There we see 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place cars. This is where the action has been. Wayne has not been able to get away. He pulls away a bit on the straight stretch. But Eddie's able to pull in on him again in the corners.
He's definitely going through the turns well.
Now they got to work their way to the outside of some lap cars. That's Alan Vincent in the 28. They've cleared him now. They've got some clear track ahead of them for a while. See if they can make up any distance on Doug Stokes here, because Doug is going to be running into traffic here.
Doug is another one of our drivers who's never won a feature race. 2 have this year.
Hard luck driver. Now, is he living in Halifax now?
Yes, he is. He is living in Halifax, originally from Newfoundland.
I know he campaigned out of Halifax for years, but he was still a Newfoundlander.
Yep.
Still living on the rock.
But Bobby White and Dave Corvette both won their very first features this year. So maybe this will be number 3, the number 3 guy. That
new first-time winner.
Yep.
Well, he's certainly putting all the effort in it to do that. A little bit of luck wouldn't hurt. Second, third, and fourth still nose to tail.
Yes, luck certainly plays a big part of it.
Hopefully nobody's going to hit you, or you won't get into a situation where you don't have any choice, or sometimes just traffic works a certain way and somebody can pass you and you can't pass somebody else. Case in point, as you see the cars going into turn 1, working their way to the inside of one car, the outside of the other, just threading the needle. Now there's 5 cars in that group that are in the top 6 positions. Still 3 wide.
Oh, we got an engine hood on there.
Scott Kelly makes contact. I believe that was the 88 car.
Stay low.
And we have debris down in turn 1. It's the hood. Let's see, who was that? Somebody's out there without a hood.
Yellow is out.
It is the 88 car. And that's Chris Hughes. So that brings out the yellow flag.
Something that we do, and I imagine a lot of the guys, at least they try to, is secure their hoods very good. But something we do is we actually take the ties, those
the pins, the hood pins,
plastic ties.
Tie
wraps.
Yep.
And he goes in around. If you look right in front of the engine or the windshield, you got a square hole. Some of the guys have them cut. See how there's to let air go through the engine hood. And he actually puts ties around the bars that are the framework and helps keep the engine hood on. Because that's something you don't want to lose. They're expensive. That's one of the biggest reasons. Some of them also will tape them down too.
George Koskulik, who's driving the number 6 Good Wrench Chevy here. George, you having a pretty good year so far?
Yeah, we're having a good year with this Good Wrench Chevy, and we hope to finish off the year maybe a little better, and we've been getting a lot of seconds, but we'd like to get a first in this race or the next one.
I guess time's running out for you, isn't it?
Getting tough. We've won a race the last 3 years, and this year it's second, you know, but we're going to give her all we got today and next weekend, but it's a lot of tough cars here this weekend.
Well, you got 4 drivers in front of you, but by no means are you out of the chase, that's for sure.
No, we're not out of it, but it's going to be hard to catch that 77 car right now.
Yeah, he was mentioning earlier there, I'm sorry, it was 97 that mentioned earlier. John's running pretty strong right now, but Corvette definitely no wins, but I guess consistency is what everybody's shooting for.
Yeah, and that's what we're all going to have the top 10 drivers here. Points are so close, you could go from maybe 2nd to 9th or 10th by just having you know, if you get knocked out early, so you got to really drive cautiously and try and finish this today.
Oh, so overall, I guess you're quite pleased with your season.
Yeah, I'm real happy, real happy. We had a couple bad races there in a row, but we got them behind us now, so yeah, I'm real happy.
Okay, coming back to green here. They'll be continuing, starting up again here, lap 67.
That 17 car is actually Dave Potter. He used to be 16. But
taking over Paulie Bear's old number, I believe.
I heard there was something to do with sponsorship, that additional sponsorship, and they wanted that number. Maybe I'm really not sure what happened there. He's not a constant runner. Oh, he's scary.
It's making it tough for Wayne Smith. Doug Stokes has cleared, but Wayne Smith hasn't. He's working the outside. Oh, Eddie's going to look on the inside. No. 17% receiving the weight and move over flag. But it's kind of tough when you've got all these hungry dogs around you.
You're right.
Well, the first 3 cars have cleared, and here comes George Koskulik and Scott Kelly.
I could say one thing. This season's been one of the more heart-pumping and gut-wrenching ones that I've ever been involved with. Oh, we have a spin. Dave
Gorvet is around. He's been clean all day. Not running up front.
Yellow's out.
But he's been clean.
Slow down.
I don't think anything major. His car is still running. He's able to pull out. So he'll pull out, pull into the tail end of the line without losing a lap.
That's right.
With the series winding down, there's about 20 points separating the top 5 drivers, about 100 points separating the top 10. Dave Gorvet leapfrogged over Scott Kelly last week to take over the points lead by a handful of points. And David, how's the car working this week?
It seems pretty good. The car's pretty neutral, but it's not real quick. But hopefully in the long haul today, it'll come through for us.
That's what I guess you're looking for. It doesn't matter where you are at the first, it's where you're at the end.
Well, that's the one they count, eh? Like, I mean, our car's been like that all year. It's been steady. It's been consistent. We've been in the top 10 every night, like, and that's what it's all about, I guess, to be up front here.
That's exactly what it takes. You got to get points out every race. The DNFs are no good for you.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
XR4 Lubricants is your sponsor. I take it they're probably quite happy with your performance.
Yeah, I think they're pretty excited. And then we got a few other sponsors on there too, and they're small, but they're coming, and I think they're quite appreciative of what we're doing for them this year.
So the Pontiac Grand Prix, you say, has been running good for you all year. You've got the one win, but I guess it'd be nice to put another one under your belt here today.
Well, it'd be certainly nice to get one the next 2, but it'll be tough. There's a lot of cars here today, and it'll be a tight race.
Just hearing some radio reports here.
Yeah.
Yes, I can see
Roger
blue
Miller
smoke following the 51 car. That's right. As you see him coming around there, you see a lot of blue smoke. Ooh,
yeah,
he almost slid out the pit lane.
Yeah, actually, if you look, you can see around turns 1 and 2. Look at the oil.
Yes, there's definitely a trail of oil.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that going to require them to come out and lay something on that?
Yep, they'll have to take. Yeah, they'll have to bring that out.
Turned out we had some beautiful weather for this long weekend.
Boy, I guess after that day yesterday, that was some windy. Were you here? You were here the last race.
Yes, I was in the evening, yes, and we were watching the rain clouds all day. That's right.
I got a kick out of the guy when he said, okay, everybody in the stands take a big breath.
Blow the other way, yeah, because
it was amazing.
It was there. We could see it.
Oh, yeah.
But luckily it skirted by us off the distance a few miles.
I know when you're coming from Nova Scotia and you come to Olac there, and we always come the back way into Shediac, and when you take that highway that takes you to PEI, it seems like there's always clouds off on the ocean somewhere.
Just sitting waiting to come in.
Yeah, we've had quite a summer for the weather, though. Last week we had a Saturday rain out and Sunday race.
Mm-hmm.
And but I think that was the only one.
And I know the baseball fans up here in Moncton recall a couple weekends ago with the rain, the Canada-U.S. game getting rained out for the bronze medal. I know there were a lot of people lined up waiting to see that game.
Ah.
And it just happened that sometimes the rain must come down.
Oh, yes. And
it affects racing just as much as it does baseball.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, probably more so.
Yeah,
with slick tires, you don't have much room for moisture on the track.
No. That's like the last time we were here. It poured for, what, 15 minutes? I mean, it poured.
Mm-hmm.
And the rivers that were running.
We had rivers outside.
Oh, my Lord. The rivers through the pits. I was watching it. And yet the sun came out, dried up, away we went.
Talking now with fourth-year driver Scott Kelly, who drives the number 12 car, parts for truck Chevy Camaro. Scott was the winner here last time the MASCAR made its stop here at Shediac Can-Am Speedway. Scott, how's your season been going? Obviously pretty good. You're second in the standings behind Dave Gorvet.
Yeah, the car has been running pretty good. We've been doing fairly consistent, finishing in the top 10, I guess, pretty well all year, except we didn't finish I think it was the first or second race of the year.
Other than that, like you say, consistency. David had spoken about it over there. Consistency seems to be the number one thing you're shooting for.
Yeah, that's what we're trying, just keep ahead of him a little bit, get a few more points up on him, but hard to say what's going to happen here today.
Well, we heard a little bit of the strategy play for the Wade Smith car there. What is he going to do with the number 5 car? So far, he hasn't had any luck, but mainly it's been not within range.
Well, I've been telling him the point is to finish.
Well, there's still lots of points for second.
Yep, 98.
And at the end of the year, you get to count those points up.
Yeah. Doug Stokes at this point in time has actually picked up 10 bonus points, 5 for leading a lap and 5 for leading the most laps.
Okay, so that's all slowing up.
Yeah, that definitely moves him up quite a bit.
But Wayne certainly wouldn't mind having those extra 5 bonus points on the last lap.
The last lap is the one that counts the most, isn't it?
You only have to lead it once, as long as it's the last one. Okay, we're going to come back to green. Still tight racing in the corners.
Yeah.
Wayne slipped off a little bit, yes. He's gone through the speedy dry and the oil that's in that corner. And I think he may have a little on his car. He gets a contact from Mike Eddy.
Danny
Eddy. George Koskulich works up on the inside. And of course, that gives Doug Stokes a clear road again.
Up slow. Its outside groove is not very good.
And definitely not with the setup that he has up his car right now.
Lap cars always cause a lot of trouble.
So in that 2 laps, Wayne Smith dropped from 2nd to 6th.
Actually 5th.
Because pardon me, the 50 car is a lap car, that's right. Now this is going to be tough. George Koskulich comes in hard on the brakes.
One thing about George, he does not like going outside. He prefers to do the inside thing. But I mean, you just got to go outside.
If the other car isn't going to give you any room. But he's got him cleared now. Followed by Scott Kelly.
Stevie Henderson has moved up into 5th place. He's sort of been sneaking along there.
Yeah,
I do believe he is on the lead lap, I think. I didn't really look.
Yes, he had an altercation earlier, but I don't believe that he was lapped during that altercation, so he may well be in this. His car is certainly running well. Now 2nd, 3rd, and 4th is cleared as we look at our leader, Doug Stokes, going into turn 1. The 2nd place car is coming out of turn 4. So he's got almost a straightaway lead on the 2nd place car. Which of course is the 6th car, George Koskulich. Here's Scott Kelly in 3rd, and Danny Eddy closes in a lot in those corners.
Yeah, he's still doing a good run coming out of the middle, I must say.
Yeah, from the middle of the corner on. Got a little bit loose there.
Yeah, I'd say the track's pretty slippery.
So you take advantage of the track where you can use it. Oh. Danny Eddy has a little trouble passing the Vincent car, 28. Wayne Smith back there in 5th. He's still stuck behind the lap car, the 50 car.
Yeah.
Cars are spreading themselves out quite a bit here now. First place car well out in front, working into another pack of traffic. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
That can sometimes help when the leader catches up to the lap cars. It gives them, you know, the other guys coming in second.
Oh, the 51 Roger Miller went into that speedy drive where that oil was and held on for dear life, but he managed to save the car. Good piece of driving.
I'm surprised he's back on the track because he's the one that put the oil down.
Must have busted the line or something they were able to repair.
Because it was a good amount of oil on the track.
And he is right in front of our leader, Doug Stokes.
Oh, that's not good.
Now Doug has got a lot of traffic in front of him now.
And even though you're lapped down, you're still fighting for... Oh, we've got a...
Oh, 2 cars together, 50 and 67. Stevie Henderson involved in another altercation. They get away clean, and they're on the road again. Doug Stokes working his way through traffic and being able to keep himself clean. Now it looks like in second place we have George Koskulik. He's about to start his way into the same pack of traffic. Car into the wall. We have 17.
Yellow is out.
And I can't quite tell. It looks black from here.
It was the 49 car, Cy Harvey.
61 takes a spin into turn 4. Brings out another caution flag. Winding down the laps here at Shediac's Can-Am Speedway.
It should be interesting to see how they line up the lap cars again, because the thing you don't sort of watch is what happens is during the racing, the leader is going by cars, and then if a yellow comes out, now you see the 50 car, he's trying to go up to the front again, and I don't know if that's right, because they take their lineup and they pull out when the yellow comes out, they pull out all the cars that are lapped, and the first one that the leader has gone by will be the first one in the lapped lane.
Right.
So it's the only way that they are capable of doing it, because they can't. A lot of times they want to go where they feel they're the least laps down, but that's just not possible.
Right. There are only 2 lanes to race in after all.
Yeah, exactly. But
okay, when they do come back to green, Doug Stokes, who has led the most laps, followed closely by George Koskulik, Scott Kelly, Danny Eddy, Wayne Smith, and Stevie Henderson. Stevie Henderson is in the lead lap.
yes, and John Fleming's right behind him. Another vie for the championship this year. The first 3 cars are, and then your 4th, 5th place, 6th, 7th place.
So probably three of the top 5 cars, or top 6 or 7 cars, are in the top 5 in the point standing.
Yeah.
Now they're going to hold up the 50 car here and get everybody sorted out. So it's still going to be another lap or 2 before they get back to green flag racing here.
They try to make it as fair as possible. A couple of cars that are in the points, in for the championship. 99, for example, he's a lapped car now. The 02 of Mike McKenzie.
He was involved in an altercation earlier. That's right. I haven't really seen much of Greg Sewart's car now. I noticed him there, but I don't know what his problem is today. He just hasn't been up to speed since the start of the race.
Greg has been having a tough season. I can remember marveling at him where he looked basically like he was tied to a pendulum, as if he was tied to something, because that car would just go around the track so smoothly. And I'm not really sure what's gone on, whether they just don't have it quite tuned in good this year, or he's won 2 races this year. I believe he won 2 races. He won the first race in Antigonish. Yes, he did win 2 races. PEI, I believe, was the other one.
And of course, in 3rd place there is Scott Kelly, who's won numerous races this year.
He's won 2 also.
Okay, green flag is out. First 3 cars are well and clear into turn number 1. Scott Kelly and George Koskulik have a slight touch. But this is what people came to see. This is racing now. There's nothing going to be held back from these cars. Now see if Koskulik has anything for Stokes. Stokes has had it kind of easy today. Not necessarily really easy, but comparatively easy.
Sorry, I was just going to let you know we're coming up to lap 90. 10 to go.
Scott Frazier's car is off. I saw some smoke coming out of it there. Something must have let go in his car. Hopefully we don't have more oil down in that turn. Yeah, yellow's coming out.
Yellow is out.
God either blew a rear end or a motor.
Yeah, I would have to say that something was blown in the Scott Fraser car. I saw blue smoke as I went into the corner.
Sort of jumped in there. It's hard to. I'm very verbal, and it's very difficult for me to. Even when I'm sitting in the stands, I try to watch who I sit around. I wouldn't want anybody to get mad. Now, the rule that'll happen now, because we're within 10 to go, all the lap cars will go to the back.
To the back.
And we will start single file and with all your lead.
And we're going to see the race amongst the leaders.
Yes. So then they don't have to worry about trying to get by these lap cars. They'll also have the inside groove that is the better racing groove. So.
And they also have the 5 green lap rule for the finish.
No, actually,
no?
they finally thrown that out.
Okay.
I was so tired of that.
Okay, let's have a look and see what happened to the Scott Fraser car here. As they're coming in the corner, you see just blue smoke just starting to erupt there.
You try your
So
best.
it was a blown engine or something blown in the car, I believe.
If you were down there and could smell it, you'd know, because rear end grease is terrible compared to oil.
Yeah, that's one of the telltale signs when you're in the stands. You could tell what part of the car might have blown because of the smell.
Oh, yes.
Anybody that smelled the clutch burn up knows that smell, or rear ends, brakes. Yeah.
Yep. Going down a hill behind an 18-wheeler. Phew. But rear end grease is, I think, the worst thing I've ever smelled. It is an awful thing.
Now, considering the amount of smells that you smell around the racetrack, it's funny how finely tuned these noses are. Because, of course, you're going to have the smell of rubber. You're going to have the smell of
gasoline,
oil,
grease. When you live with a mechanic, you get used to them all.
Well, as you said, we're down within the last 10 laps. So you're going to see your leaders out there. 31 is still up there, but I believe he must be lapped. They're going to have to move him back.
Yeah, he'll be going to the back. Lapped car. He's a lapped car. Yeah, I was going to. Oh yeah, I was mentioning about the shootout. This should be good.
Definitely. Well, we saw in those last couple of laps that Doug Stokes can't get away.
No, it
There's
looked
not
like
gonna be any running
it
away
looks
here.
like George might have something for him, but again, you never know what's going to happen once the tires come in. Now he looks like he's trying to double up. I don't think we're going to do that.
Or maybe he's just checking that outside lane just to see. Well, let's have a look again there at Scott Fraser's car. Maybe we could decipher. That could be tires, but I suspect that was engine. The amount of blue smoke that came up there, he just wasn't laying on the brakes. And hopefully he didn't drop any oil, because turn 1 and 2 are greasy enough as it is.
Yeah, I believe the Speedy guy just already went through, so there is more down there, unfortunately. Let's hope they take their time.
They're getting lined up here. Art Steves is going to let them loose. On the power coming out of turn 4, Doug Stokes, George Koskula, Scott Kelly, Danny Eddy, Wayne Smith, Stevie Henderson, and John Fleming. All in contention here now for the win. And very important again for the points championship at the end of the year. There's so many cars so close, and with only one more league. Oh, George just kind of letting Doug know, I think I might want to go by you.
I think Doug is protecting his lead right now, because he's not. If you notice, he's not coming out wide on on the stretches there.
He's just staying down, covering the line.
Yeah, scared that somebody might try to duck underneath him. So he's just very conservative.
There's Danny Eddy working on Scott Kelly on the inside. Does he have? Oh, Scott cuts him off in the corner. There we have a couple cars spun over in turn.
It wasn't even. Oh, yellow. That's too bad. Oh, I know what you asked me about the 5 green.
Right.
That's what I knew. There was something. No, they. Oh.
Again, now they don't count the laps under the yellow, but there's not a mandatory 5 laps.
No, there used to be at the end of the race, if a caution come out within the last 5 laps of the race, they would start and go 5 green again, you know, until 5 green were completed. Well, we ran into several trouble with that because of the troubles with that, because how many times you had to start over and over again. So finally this year, it's if we're down to, say, even with 1 lap to go, it's green, they go around, they get the white,
Green,
they
white
come
checkers.
around and get the checker. Yeah. So it's definitely, I think, a crowd even prefers it that way.
Yeah, we just had a look at the Scott Livingston car going off. He's had a multitude of problems today, being involved in several spins and accidents. He's going to make 1 more trip to the pits now. There's maybe the final. We'll keep an eye on him, see if he can come back. And the other car we saw there was Roger Miller. Roger's not having his best day here today.
He's still on the track, but right here in this 51 or 61. Oh, actually, off he goes.
Yeah.
I know one thing, these guys are all hungry too. Not just for the win, but for some supper, because this has been a long day.
It's been a long day, definitely. Of course, they have the heats and the B feature and all that, but there's also support racing going on in other classes of racing. Of course, that takes time.
Quite a good class here. I mean, they had a little trouble today with that feature they were trying to run, but they still had have quite a few cars here.
Mm-hmm. I think the track's become fairly popular amongst the drivers now. The track's only a year old now, and I think it's picked up a fair amount of popularity, as well as with the fans, the way everything's laid out.
Oh, well, you can see from anywhere in the stands, which is a great plus. There's nothing worse than when you can't see.
Okay, there's the yard. Steve's holding the green. Yeah, he's going to be waving the green flag here, coming out of turn 4. Now George is going to look to the outside. No, he stays back down his course. He's got to watch his line because Scott Kelly will move inside of him.
Oh, that's right.
If he works the outside.
All 3 of those cars are there. They all have a chance to win the championship this year. I know what's on Doug Stokes' mind, though. His first win.
It'll be good to see. Doug's a very amiable fella.
I can remember when he first came to racing with the Do It Center car, orange car.
Yes, yep.
Oh,
George he said, if I can't get by on the inside, I'm going to have to try the outside. So he's got a little space now because Danny Eddy is fighting with Scott Kelly back there.
Yeah, and oh.
Only a couple of laps left as they get by the Alan Vincent car. George is working him hard. He's trying to make that space. Doug isn't giving him space. George is trying to make it. Try again. He's going to show high, and he's going to go on him high. Yep.
We're coming up with 2 laps to go here.
Yep. 2 laps to go. It's all coming down to this. Well, Doug Stokes has led the whole race, but now George Schooling says, nah, that doesn't mean you're going to win it.
I think Wayne Smith is just sort of holding back to see if anything's going to happen. Maybe he can scoot on by.
Well, if he looks at right in front of him, you see Danny Eddy working hard on Scott Kelly.
Yeah.
White flag is out. Turn number 4, last time around. Oh, Danny Eddy working to the inside of Scott Kelly.
Wants that third spot. Yep.
Yep. Big pass. Oh, Scott hard into the back. Here comes our winner, Doug Stokes.
Congratulations, Doug.
George Coolings, Danny Eddy.
Man, they all came sliding across there.
It was a rough finish, but they made it. There's some parts flying around the track.
Oh, my.
Typical MASCAR finish.
Wait till next week.
Yeah, there was definitely battle at the front, the battle behind them, battle all the way through.
You watch Doug get out of this car. I think you're going to see a smile as wide as the Cheshire Cat.
Okay, well, let's go down to the track now and see.
Oh. Here, Doug.
I never get a chance to talk to you before, but I guess you'd rather talk to me now, standing here as the winner.
Hey, look, this is just fantastic for us. We've been coming to Moncton now for a number of years, and this new track is fantastic. We had a good run. We ran third the last time we came here, and tonight we started in fifth and led most of the race, and we're really happy.
George had a little bit for you there, but I guess you held him off just long enough.
Yeah, I just made sure that I just gave George my full bumper and not my quarter panel. If I gave him my quarter panel, we'd both probably end up at the back. But he's a real competitive racer. I'd just like to thank the people of Moncton, the racetrack, AC Delco, all our sponsors, Auto Plus. This is like a great day for us. It's been like 5 years in coming.
I guess 13's a lucky number today.
Well, hey, 13 will be a lucky number from now on. Of course, my real lucky number is 5.
AC Delco, yeah, I guess you got to thank the sponsors.
Yeah, no, I really want to thank them. They stuck with me. We've been 3 years doing this deal with AC Delco, and a lot of promotions, a lot of racetracks, and I'm really happy to win it here in Moncton, and really happy for AC Delco and that crew.
Congratulations, Doug.
Thanks very much.
Hell of a race. Okay, George, you give him all you had there at the end.
I think I had a better car than he did, just that he was ahead of me, but after there had been some more laps, I think I could have got around him on the outside, but we would have made a race out of it.
Yeah, he said he give you his whole back bumper. He didn't want to let you get underneath that quarter panel.
No.
He said it might have been all she wrote.
I got in underneath there just, but not enough, a couple of times, and then I said, well, I'll try him outside, and he had, we never had enough time, but we got beside him going into 1 and 2 there, and I thought I was going to be able to get him in 3 and 4, but he ran me in a little hard and a little high that time, but that was a good race. Second's better than third. So.
Yeah, another good finish for you, and that helps out, I guess, going towards the end of the year.
Yeah, I think this is the last 6 or 7 races. We got 5 seconds and a DF. We got racked in 1 and a 5th. So I guess we're having pretty good luck, but we're looking for that win. That's what we want.
Yeah, well, maybe next week, the end of the year, would be a nice capper, wouldn't it?
We're going to try it.
Well, good luck to you. Thank you very much, George.
Thanks.
Danny, you put a little move on Scott there in the last lap to go from 4th to 3rd. That was opportunistic.
Yeah, that was really stock car racing. Wasn't it at its finest? That's Scott and I run each other pretty clean usually, but it was going for 3rd in the last couple laps, and he won it and I won it, and there was only so much racetrack to go around. So, but it was a fun race.
Yeah, I guess you don't get the trophy for 4th, but you'll take something home for 3rd.
Well, like Ken Packham said, it's hard. You can go home with 4th without any marks on it. You can dent a door and finish 3rd. So we decided to dent a door tonight.
Yeah, a little bit of sheet metal damage on the left side there on the right side.
Everybody's happy but the body man. He's not too happy today, but we'll go home and fix it up and come back to Halifax and try to get that win we've been looking for all year.
Well, good luck next week. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Danny.
I didn't care if I could have got 10 laps ahead.
Well, that's it from Shediac's Can-Am Speedway. First-time winner Doug Spokes. It's great to see Doug finally get that win because he's been so close so many times.
Oh, for sure, over the years. And last year he was close to winning one, but it got taken away, I'm afraid. But, yep, he is happy.
Oh, that's great.
And that will definitely help his points. He came into the race in 9th. Actually, he's the farthest one away, so that's going to make the top 9 even closer.
Even closer,
even
that's right.
Closer.
So we're all going to be keeping our eye on the points finish next week in Halifax. Unfortunately, this won't air before then, but for all those that are MASCAR fans, if you're not out at the track, hope you catch us next time on Funday Community Television. On behalf of Ellen Smith, this is Don Ferguson. Thank you.
Thanks.